Imagine yourself now, climbing the endless stairs toward the summit of a stone pyramid. The air vibrates with the earth-shaking chants of a vast crowd and the haunting wail of bone flutes. Looking up, you see a stone altar stained with blood and a masked priest waiting in silence. You have been chosen as the sacrifice to save the world. If you do not die here, the sun will not rise, and the world will be consumed by eternal darkness. Or so the people of that time truly believed. Today, we immerse ourselves in the mad justice of the Aztec Empire, and why they believed they had to offer tens of thousands of hearts to the sun. In the 15th century, beneath what is now the heart of Mexico City, lay the island city of Tenochtitlan. The Aztecs were a colossal empire that dominated their neighbors through sheer military might. Yet, beneath this prosperity lay a terrifying cosmology. They believed the world had already been destroyed 4 times. To keep the current 5th sun moving, the gods required a constant supply of sacred water, human blood. This was no mere barbaric ritual. It was a cold, rational, and inescapable history of energy supply to maintain the state. They could not afford to let the sun stop. To prevent the apocalypse, they had to remain at war, constantly harvesting captives for the altar. The world has already ended 4 times. Hearing this, you might think, that's impossible. But this inescapable memory was carved deep into a massive stone disk, the Sunstone. Depicted there is the central sun surrounded by the 4 worlds that have already perished. To the Aztecs, the history etched in this stone was an absolute truth. In their myth, the current sun was born only when the gods threw themselves into the flames. Yet even then, the newborn sun did not move. It hung paralyzed at the zenith of the sky. What finally breathed life into the sun and forced it to move was the gruesome self-sacrifice of the remaining gods. The sun moves only through sacrifice. This harsh cycle was inherited by humanity. Never let the sun stop. The only way to ensure it was the life offered upon the altar. The moment of the ritual. The priest holds a blade of obsidian, sharper than any steel. Aztec anatomical knowledge far surpassed that of Europe at the time. With clinical precision, they slice beneath the ribs and tear out the still-beating heart with their bare hands. A heartbeat that was part of you just a second ago now stares up at the sky from the priest's hand. The heart is offered to the gods, and the body is cast down the temple stairs, joining a mountain of bone and dried blood. Can you accept your fate when you are told your life is nothing more than oil to turn the gears of the world? Beside the pyramid stood the Tzompantli, a massive rack of human skulls. Thousands upon thousands of heads were displayed in perfect, haunting order. It was a visceral warning to any foreigner visiting the empire. Oppose us, and your head will be the next to join the rouse. Beneath the beautiful name of faith lay a dominion built on absolute terror. Aztec peace was a fragile balance, maintained only by the despair of those beneath them. To ensure the supply of blood never ran dry, the Aztecs practiced a tradition known as the Flower Wars. These were not battles fought for land or gold, but ritual combat designed for a single purpose. They were fought not to kill, but to capture. Imagine you are a soldier from a neighboring tribe. You are not fighting for your country's freedom. You are being cut down like a crop, harvested. To the Aztecs, war was a sacred hunt, and you were nothing more than prey. Once captured, you cease to be a prisoner of war. You become fodder for the sun. Amidst a sense of inescapable loss, neighboring nations could only watch as their strongest sons and daughters were led to the great temple, never to return. That silent hatred was slowly, surely piling up beneath the feet of the empire. Yet, no matter how many hearts were offered, the day finally came when the sun began to set on the empire. In 1519, men with white skin appeared from the eastern sea. The Aztecs mistook them for the returning god, Quetzalcoatl. The neighboring nations, who had lived for generations under the terror of the sacrifice, joined forces with the Spanish invaders to dismantle the empire. Ironically, the very blood spilled to save the world became the catalyst that accelerated the empire's destruction. The countless lives sacrificed to move the sun are now sealed beneath the concrete of a modern metropolis. Were their actions a form of cruel madness? Or were they a desperate, sincere prayer to protect the world? Look down at your feet now. The peaceful daily life we enjoy may, in fact, be built upon the sacrifice of someone or something. Should we be grateful that the sacrifice is not your heart? Or should we live in fear of the day when our turn finally comes?